receiving content.
Oh, they added a
I
I don't know if my chair lifts.
Uh-oh.
This is my actual desk chair, which I like because it actually fits. Yes, make it more obvious.
See, I had to scroll the window, so now I can't see.
No one's watching.
No one's watching. Well, we can leave it.
This is true, but I hid the chat window. Hey. When you haven't done anything on YouTube in a while. Hey, someone's watching. Hi, someone. Let's just jump into it. Hello, and welcome to another monthly update from the AV department. This is for March.
Yes.
Sorry, it's been a very long day. This is what we covered in the month of March. What did you do?
Well, as you would know if you watched my streams this month, and apparently many of you did, so thank you for that. I've been working on trying to get Styracosaurus out the door, and it is almost there. I have, I believe, all of the animation clips except for the little pop-ups that show like citations and stuff. That I still have to render, so I'll do that tonight, but everything else is rendered. Preliminary check is good. Like, I had to redo one thing today, but that's done. So, barring any more errors on my part, the animation is done, and it just needs to be assembled in Premiere, and then it goes back to Miss Liz.
Yeah. So if we're lucky, depending on how long the extra video we need to stick at the end of it goes, 2 weeks? Next week?
What's at the end of it?
Moose wants to put in an advertisement for all of the new dino products we're putting in the store.
Oh,
Well,
this is the first I'm learning of this.
just slipped my mind because she asked this of me like 2 months ago now.
Oh.
It's going to be 30 seconds of, hey, you can buy more than just dinosaur mugs here now.
Okay, that's cool.
Support your favorite video by buying other dinosaur branded stuff.
Okay, I'm okay with shilling stuff. Hello, Anarchy and Minio the Kicker.
Hi guys. So what else did you do?
That's really it. I did some stuff, like we had some design stuff that Moose would randomly hand me. I lost a week doing that CAD project for Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Frankly, the episode would probably be out now if I didn't have to do that CAD project, but whatever.
I had that fight. I lost it.
Oh, Santo. I don't know. We've been pulled away for random stuff throughout the month, but as far as AV tasks go, I'm going to turn down my radio. But as far as AV tasks go, it's pretty much been Styracosaurus all the time for me.
Yeah. We ended up reorganizing a non-trivial amount of the front offices, as in the gift shop, the print shop, and the actual office staff have completely switched rooms.
Yes, they're where the laser cutter used to live.
Yeah, so...
And Moose went to our local Babies R Us, which is going out of business because bankruptcy, and bought some of their racks at significant markdown.
Well, she went to several Baby R Us's, and she's going to Toys R Us's too when those shut down. So basically, we got all new furniture, some of which is overflow until...
Yeah, like they haven't quite finished reorganizing after the move. There's still piles of stuff out there that needs to go on these racks, and then the racks can go in their permanent homes.
But stuff like that has been a non-trivial bit of our time, because when all hands is called, that includes us.
Is that Monday? No, that was last Tuesday.
It carried over to a couple days though. Like, not all day for the
Yeah,
next
I'm just
couple
trying to
days,
remember
but-
how long ago they actually did this because I'm all messed up because of Easter.
As far as the non-animation stuff, we are starting to let Dan, who you'll have seen in the captain's blogs if you watch Chris's channel, let him start to develop programs for the live stream. So it's going to start on the main channel, on the Geek Group website, and where the IRC hangout is, and grow from there. Once he gets his feet under him and he has a few people who will volunteer their time and actually be reliable, we'll expand programming and I guess venues is a good word for it. Other sites that will stream from, like we have stuff like a Twitch account ready to go. There's just no one to run it competently yet. So expect that you'll start being able to subscribe to some things on Twitch and such as we figure out what we're doing with the live stream. As far as what I've been working on, I've been plugging away at high voltage videos, one of which is essentially done, and you'll see that you will have seen that if you are a patron to the level where you get secret videos. That's gone through another round of editing and tweaking and is essentially ready, and now I'm working on the official video for the coil winder, the big one that we redid, and it turns out that we've been shooting video for that specific project for over 3 years now. So it's been a job. It's been a job bringing it all together. There are people in that video I forgot ever worked here because it's been that long. We're also working on a video. Well, I'm working on a video for Open Doors, which is the homeschool, not homeschool program for high schoolers. They did some interviews that I'm just cutting together and waiting back on notes for, so that they can hopefully apply for more grants and have more stuff for their kids to do. We're doing a lot of rackets. Like Steven shot a video yesterday where we helped a bunch of little kids learn about rackets by putting together like the most basic possible kits you can have. Do you have one? Oh, you do? So it's like an hour to 2 hours depending on the size of the group.
Just little rockets.
Of teaching kids how to put rackets together.
This one comes with instructions, so it's really just telling them in what order to do the instructions so that you can do it faster.
Pretty much.
Demonstrating it, I guess, is probably better than.
Yeah, they're going to have like a launch day or 3 or something at some point. So that's been taking up a little bit of our time as well, is shooting some PR video for that. I think Chris actually edited together some of it for the captain's blog that went out today, but I'm sure we can make some kind of promotional video for it too. Okay. But that's been pretty much what we've been doing. The reason nothing's really gone out is because everything we're working on just takes a lot of effort right now, because animation is animation, and my stuff has an enormous amount of footage from up to 3 years ago.
See, here I am being all like, man, it's taken a long time to make the Styracosaurus video. And then she's like, oh yeah, we've got footage from 3 years ago. The coil winder.
To be fair, we have footage from 3 years ago because it's taken them about 2.5. Yeah, because it was 6 months from when we shut down the HVL to when it was done being renovated.
Yeah.
So it's been about 2.5 years of shooting.
This is true.
It took that long to get the project moving forward because every now and then we'd need to wait on a specialized part to get in to even begin the next step. Like giant bolts that are longer than this cubicle.
Yep.
What do you have planned for next month after Styracosaurus?
Oh my goodness, I haven't even, that's like asking, what are you going to do after the war? I'm gonna make it through Styracosaurus, and that is my plan at present. I don't even know what the next dinosaur we're gonna do as a main episode will be. I'll figure that out though.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should go to the Triassic, but
Name's Frizzle.
The dinosaur episode of Magic School Bus is dramatically wrong and outdated, and I could probably talk about it.
I had the computer game for that.
Specifically for the dinosaur?
Yeah, well, I had the human body one too, and I think one that was specifically geology, but I had the dinosaur one too.
Really, I should try to do like 1 or 2 of our little glossary in between episodes and then worry about the next big one, just so that we can have some momentum, have some videos come out.
I'm okay with that.
Especially since those will be almost entirely animation and almost entirely short as hell, so therefore actually like doable.
Uh-huh.
What else has happened? I have some random stuff that I have to do for Moose. I have random stuff I have to do for Chris. We're going to be redoing the flower beds, or the planters, flanking the entrance. And I'm going to base it on the word I can't pronounce formation. If you've heard of Flaming Cliffs in Mongolia, it's that. It's where Velociraptor is from. But there's a name for the larger formation. It starts with a DJ. I'm going to pull it up on my phone, and I'm going to read it, and I'm going to mispronounce it, and people are going to be pissed
But basically,
at me.
we're taking the fake and gross flowers. Well, I guess they're not gross, they're just dusty. We're taking the fake flowers out of the flower beds at the front stairs, and we're going to make little dinosaur dioramas because we
A
can.
dinorama, if you will.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, no, come back. Come back.
While
It's called the Jadokta formation.
There's a word. So yeah, if for those of you who probably missed it, or at least have forgotten, explain the glossary videos that we plan on doing.
Oh, so I'll frequently in episodes of Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong make mention of some random thing like stratigraphy, or niche, or formation, and not actually like explain what that is, and sometimes we'll put a little thing in the corner saying, hey, this is what that is, but more often than not we don't. So I think it would be really valuable just to have really short, to-the-point videos explaining a single topic. Some will be more in-depth than others. Like there's some that I want to do that are sort of more of a broad concept, like taphonomy, which is an entire field of study as opposed to a specific concept, but
So you'll see GP Gray that one.
could.
Like 5 minutes worth of in-depth. As far as plans on my side of things, I'm going to keep plugging away at the high voltage videos because there's at least...
Oh, and I need to do the sound design for the new high voltage title.
There's at least, I want to say 4, maybe only 3, but I'm pretty sure it's 4 or 5 videos that we can get out of all of the footage we had from the start of the coil winder to we're shutting down the HVL to put a giant cage in it. So we have one done. The coil winder is well on its way now that I have my bearings, but we're going to have to write and narrate a lot of things, especially since a lot of the people we could ask questions of or do like an interview reality style with aren't here anymore because they got other jobs or stuff. But there's that, there's winding the first coils for Project Icarus, which is the towers that will replace Project Gemini, which got damaged in the fire a couple years ago. Almost 4 years, definitely 4 years ago now.
January 2014.
And then there's an experimental turning that they did with the 2 extra pipes that were like Icarus's backup towers. If whatever like gets damaged, we can just put a different one in and it's good. That experiment had to do with the type of coating they put on it, which I think was marine epoxy, like for boats. And then we have the one of upgrading the giant power supply, which is really cool because I got permission from a really cool dude to actually use some footage of Bill Wysock's 13M Tesla coil. So if you don't know what that is, look it up. It's basically so big they needed an entire desert around it. I think it was valued at like $30,000 going off a post I found on the guy's Facebook when I tried to find him to ask permission to use that footage. But basically, we have like actual supplementary and historical footage for like the first time ever in a video.
That isn't public domain.
Yeah. Like, it's really stupid hard to find stuff even in the public domain, so I'm just kind of proud of myself for like finding anything, because it's actually really hard to find media on this guy that you don't have to pay for, and I would totally just pay for it if we could afford it. But other than working on high voltage videos, things kind of went sideways today, so it didn't happen, but I'm going to start rehearsing with Chris for the tool videos.
Oh, that's right.
We were supposed to rehearse today, and then something started to happen in the computer lab, and people were yelling. Not really, but they seemed terse, so I'm like, I don't want a piece of that, and I just kept working on my high voltage videos instead. But we're going to start rehearsing those videos because we're trying a new, to us, way of doing things. It's a pretty common way to represent things on YouTube. But we're going to start doing more maker spacey things outside of like, look at these big ass projects we do that we think are really cool. You could do this type videos, like start getting into videos like, if you don't know how to use a screwdriver, here's everything you could want to know about a screwdriver, here are the main tricks with it, and here are some tips and things you may not have known, and here's how not to hurt yourself.
That's a good angle, though, because I imagine we don't get that many people who come here wanting to build a Tesla coil. We get probably plenty of people who want to build a table.
Yes. And that's sort of the point. We're trying to start videos that better represent what we do overall without being overlong. Even though we'll never actually get rid of the overlong videos, they just won't be the only thing. And they'll better demonstrate our point without them being like purely PR videos, which I hate. I may find the sit down and interview about your mission type videos to be the most trite and formulaic things on earth right now. And I can't think of what else is really planned right now.
When I was shooting the rockets, Chris randomly said something like, we can make a PR video out of this.
Not from only one
I believe
shoot.
I just said okay and then proceeded to shoot it as a making video. Because that's what I know how to do.
All I knew is that he wanted some video and we can always use the B-roll. So yeah. It was one of those impromptu things where you just point a camera and hope you get everything hope you can get stuff you can use later. We get a lot of those. Does anyone have any questions? Because I think that's mainly the rundown. I'm sure something else that's going to be happening will come to me, but we have no like far-reaching plans beyond the next 2 weeks, especially while things are getting renovated still in the rest of the building.
The Jugulabra formation is also where they found Halskaraptor, the new aquatic dromaeosaurid. And since I know one of the new planters will have a water feature, I can make a little model of Halskaraptor to float in it.
Are we just gonna 3D print accurate dinosaurs or something?
I think we're gonna laser cut. They're gonna be layered. They're gonna be like.
So they'll be somewhat durable.
Yeah. Some will be wood, some will be plexi. Like the ones that are in the water will have to be plexi. But
I mean, you could like do some kind of hollowed out layers. So there's an air bubble. You would just have to super glue them and clamp them really hard together to make it like airtight.
why though?
I don't know, because you could.
Oh, okay.
Guess you would have to also clear coat it so it wouldn't like soak through and rot though.
Oh, to put it in the water.
Yeah.
The wood would just get waterlogged, I think. Oh, and I need to finish. I have some more assets for like mugs for the store. Mugs and other similar
Oh yeah,
art
she was having you
objects.
do stuff where they're like actually in environments and stuff.
Yeah. I think I legitimately forgot to send her some of the stuff I made though. So that's next after. That is the next thing after Styracosaurus is out the door.
Yay.
And we get to mail Joanna her toy back after 2 years or however long it's been.
Yeah, I feel sort of bad for some people who want their toys back. Hopefully they're still at the same address. We should probably make sure she's at the same address.
Yeah, there aren't too many that want them back.
Okay, that makes me feel better. Are we going to do any AV blogs? I do have them planned for when we get back into actually shooting. The problem lately has been either something is cutting into my ability to at least live stream what I'm doing when I edit in that, or we're just not doing anything that is new and interesting from a shooting perspective. But we do plan on doing more AV blogs, especially as we get into doing like rehearsals and stuff. It's really just been a matter of, we can only show like shooting something dinosaur related so many times before it feels like we're just phoning it in. So just don't do it until it's interesting.
I haven't really been doing animation updates because that requires me to render it at the end of the week, and on Saturdays I just really want to go home. Also, I usually have late shift on Saturdays, and I would usually stay late to do the animation updates anyway. Frankly, we've just been pulled away from being able to do our jobs so frequently that I don't have time for any of the ancillary stuff. Like, I can do the live streams because that's just pointing a camera or pointing a viewport at what I'm doing anyway. So that costs me nothing time-wise. But the rest of it...
Watched the live stream a couple weeks ago where there's a bit of a discussion going. Would be nice to see something similar on the discussions in Patreon to allow for interaction between patrons. Yeah, we can figure out something to do with that. I've tried to spur like comments and stuff before, and it's sort of iffy whether or not it will actually happen. But I can take a look and see at what else we could be doing to make that happen there more. I am totally open to trying new things to see what happens.
Does he mean like some kind of chat item in the Patreon feed that all patrons can see and comment on?
I don't think it's like a straight
things?
up chat. It's just an ability to interact, like, not an ability, something to spur them to interact with us and each other more.
Oh.
Is what I got from it. But not necessarily a real-time chat.
I did notice that there were people like responding to one another in the stream chat, which was nice.
Yeah, that was cool. I know there's some kind of discussion thing actually on Patreon now, but I haven't looked too deeply into it and what it actually does.
I only go to Patreon to check on posts that I make. Which is like the streams, which you put on there, and the wallpaper post once a month.
Yeah, which, by the way, the wallpapers for this for March will go live tomorrow.
I have one more. There's going to be 4 wallpapers. They're all from Styracosaurus episode. I'm sorry for the wait. I thought I would have them done last night, but that didn't materialize. Don't remember why. What was going on yesterday?
I don't know.
The rocket thing.
So much stuff has been happening the last 2 weeks that I just kind of stopped considering what is actually pulling us away from our desk. It just is. Yeah. It'll get better eventually. I'm going to start looking for more interns, and hopefully we find some that help lighten that burden.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions before we kind of wrap up for today? We're getting pretty close there. But I don't want to run off without, like, actually addressing anything you might be wondering. Yes. We can sum up our month with, we didn't get as much done as we hoped, but we tried despite circumstances.
We are getting better.
Yeah.
I got more done this month than I got done last month as regards video work. And I think the same could be said for that month relative to February.
Yeah, things have been better since...
Or relative to January.
Things have been better since the high voltage lab is finally done.
Yeah.
That kind of...
And the heat is on.
Renovating the high voltage lab kind of killed all momentum everywhere else because it was such a huge undertaking to get it ready for the guys who would come in and put the cage in. So, yeah. But we're plugging along. And on that note, thank you everyone for hanging out. Sorry we don't have more exciting things to share, but nature of the job such as it is right now, you can expect within the next couple weeks to see dinosaurs as well as maybe some high voltage videos. I'm trying to stockpile those before I start releasing them, so we'll see on that. and we'll try to start blogging our experimental shoots and stuff now that we are actually able to do them. And yeah, if you're tuning in and you're not a patron, please consider checking out our Patreon page. And yeah, if you see anything that you think would be a good perk for you and you want to help us make stuff faster and hopefully, you know, one day hire people to help us make stuff faster, we would be very thankful for your contribution, and thank you to everyone who does contribute, and thank you for hanging out today. Say bye.
Hi. Oh, I just remembered also they've been going to town on the studio. Studio B has paint now.
Yeah, well, we may have a recording studio soon.
Yeah.
Say bye.
I said bye.
Okay.